Do we really need to do this again? So, on Twitter, Stone Cold Cringey Lynch is at it again. I haven't really had anything to really report on, old Becky Lynch, old Cringey Lynch, as of late. But I sure as hell did when it came to Seth Rollins because of, what JR said about him. Seth Rollins had to get cute and start talking about, Kenny Omega being in the minor leagues. So JR had to fire back and say that Seth Rollins, well, maybe one day he'll be as over as his girlfriend. And I did a completely separate video on that, so you should go check that out. I thought it was completely hilarious. It was an epic burial of Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins still, to this day, has not come out with a retort. And we know it won't be a fitting retort, even if he even managed to somewhat formulate some type of a retort to JR, some type of comeback. But he still has not even attempted to do so. And that's good for him, because he would probably make himself look even worse. But there was something interesting on Twitter, and I had to share it with you guys. So, before we start, I just want to plug my secondary channel, which has been dormant for close to 2 years now. I have now decided to make the Brad Rules a complete wrestling channel. You will not be seeing any other content but wrestling here on this channel. So I have decided to stop fighting the YouTube algorithm, which is a completely fruitless effort, and I'm going to be putting all my gaming content and possibly my movie reviews and things of that nature over on the Brad Gaming, which is the Brad Rants. So if you've already been subscribed to my secondary channel, the Brad Rants, congratulations, you're already subscribed to the Brad Gaming. So, I am not going to be trying to fight against the platform that I'm doing videos on. That's not a wise move. So I have finally learned that if I want this channel to do well, I'm going to have to go with the algorithm. So I'm trying to do the most intelligent, logical move possible, and I am going to do what's best for this channel, and that is converting it to a complete wrestling channel. Because when you have videos of the same theme, those channels do tend to do better. So this channel has been doing better as of late. We've definitely been gaining some Steam survivors and been getting better view counts. So I've decided let's take the next step and let's try to do well in the algorithm. Let's try to do even better than we've been doing as of late. So I just want to let you guys know that you know that I'm also equally passionate about gaming. So if you're not subscribed, go check out the Brad Gaming here on YouTube. And you'll be seeing a lot of great gaming content over on there. So, guys, without further ado, let's get back to the topic at hand. And we're going to be taking a look at some of these tweets concerning Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. So, Gorilla Position, which is a UK fan cast, they're advertising for Rollins and an appearance that he's going to be doing to confirm WWE Rollins is cool, and they show this great picture of him here, like with swim fins and everything like that. This is just so, like, you would not see Stone Cold, The Rock taking goofy pictures like this. Now, I know that, wrestlers are allowed to have fun and all that, and, everyone likes to act goofy, and I'm even, guilty of that, acting goofy in videos, hey, ho, and all that stuff, but, like, come on. You're a WWE champion, you're the face of a company. Like, first of all, like, why is he dressed like this anyway? Like, what is the purpose of this? I don't know what he's doing. There's a film crew here in the background, but, like, I don't get it. Like, who wouldn't want to spend the evening with this cool customer? Me, maybe, and probably a lot of other people. If you haven't gotten your tickets and blah, 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 they're advertising for him. So Seth Rollins says right here, Come hang out with me and my super over fiance. Anyway, credit to Wrestling Inc. for, laying these tweets out nice and clean so we could just go through them one at a time. So, right here, this is a dig at JR because JR said that, maybe Rollins one day he'll be as over as his girlfriend, who's his fiance. So, Rollins can't shut his mouth. He can't leave well enough alone. He's got to make fun of that fact. And, I guess you could say, like, okay, well, he's making fun of himself and everything. But, you could tell that he's fuming on the inside, that he's angry what JR said because it's true. I mean, it's true. The fans like Cringey Lynch more than they like him. And even her stock has been falling as of late. But even still, she still remains more popular than Seth Rollins. So this guy, this is not really Otis. This is like some rando on the internet, tags JR and says, he referring to you, babe. And I'm like really surprised that JR even responded to this. And he says, as he should, Becky Lynch, and he tags Becky Lynch, is the most over talent in WWE, in my opinion. Just saying. And, I don't know if that's true. It's very hard to say, like, who's the most over star in WWE right now, because they haven't done right by, like, the entire roster. And, Becky Lynch is, there's nothing that they're doing with her right now that's super popular. Like, the ratings are terrible on Raw. To say that Lynch is over, I mean, to say even that she's the most over, I really don't know how true that is. I really couldn't tell you who the most over star is. So maybe JR is right about that. But really, I would say, okay, now that The Fiend is not on there, maybe it is Cringey Lynch. Anyway, but let's see what the man has to say about this. Nothing but respect, JR. You're an amazing announcer. You're damn right he is. He's the only reason I watch AEW. And Tony Schiavone. So go down to the locker room and announce that I would whoop your whole women's division any day of the week and twice on Sundays. And with that said, I mean, like, she's just so unprofessional. She's just so cringeworthy. She's like a cartoon character. And I think it's been proven that no one really cares for these Twitter exchanges. And I get that, a lot of people are going to say that these wrestlers are trying to keep kayfabe alive. But in the same breath, they're going to also do other things that just make them look even worse. So, like, if you're trying to keep kayfabe alive even, why are you even talking to a non-WWE personality? You're talking to an AEW announcer, to an AEW commentator. What is the purpose of this? What are you getting out of this? Do you have this much free time on your hands? WWE wrestlers are busy people. They're on the road, 300 days out of the week. They have to make all these public appearances. And, I'm sure Becky Lynch, Cringey Lynch, is making a lot of public appearances as well. She's wrestling on house shows. And she still just can't concentrate on herself. Maybe she could, find a better way of interacting with the crowd. Coming up with different facial expressions, something like that. But instead, she's sitting wherever she is, tweeting this out on Twitter to JR, talking about how, she's going to go over to the AEW locker room, and kick everybody's behind. Like, first of all, let's keep something in mind. Everybody knows that this is fake, and that when you say this, everyone knows that you're not going to go over to the AEW locker room and kick everyone's butt. We all know that that's not going to happen. So saying it, once again, is like really cringy. And it just sounds stupid. And first of all, JR is not really like complimenting like Becky that way. You know what I mean? He's basically saying that, Seth Rollins, this guy is like the WWE champion, but he's not as over as he should be because Cringey Lynch, is more over than he is. And it's a true statement. And JR is saying it's a true statement. But we all know that it's kind of like saying like, well, this is pathetic. Because the fact that you have the women's champion being more over than the universal champion, and you can make any argument that you want. You could try to say, oh, well, women's wrestling has grown so big that it's almost equivalent to the world title picture and everything like that, to the males division. And you know that's not true. You just know that it's not true and that it will never be true because it just is a fact that predominantly, wrestling is a man's sport and that the women are a side attraction. And I know that people very uncomfortable when people say that, but it is true, and it's always been true, and it will forever be true. So JR is simply pointing this out, and that it is a problem. He's not saying it, but he's counting on you to be smart and realize it. But Cringey Lynch is taking it hook, line, and sinker, and she's bringing it to even cringier levels. Proving JR's point that WWE and everything surrounding Seth Rollins and Cringey Lynch is a joke. So JR might be giving a little bit of a compliment to Cringey Lynch. Good job in this complete wasteland of a wrestling product that you've managed to get over when few others have. But like, how over is it really? Like, how over is somebody when they're on a failing show? Not by much. So, there's more layers to the comment than meets the eye. And by Cringey Lynch even responding to it, she would have, done right by herself to not even respond here. But she has to. She just has to because, that's who she is, right? She's got to be cringy. She's got to prove what's wrong with wrestling today and the wrestlers. It's like you don't see anybody doing this. And like, I'm going to like use an example here. So I just reviewed, an episode of NWA Power. And thank you to Scott Casey Gale for recommending it. It was a pretty decent show. And then I watched the second episode, and I'm going to be reviewing that as well. So I'm going to be reviewing also the first episode, just so we have a nice complete set of reviews here. So I would say that if you want to see wrestlers acting a bit, more like you'd expect them to, when you really think of wrestling and how it used to be, NWA Power might be the way to go. Now, I'm not giving people a full-on recommendation for that show saying it's super amazing and oh my god. That's not the case. But it did harken back to the time when wrestlers did have self-respect for themselves. And, that can be seen on NWA Power. But then you take a look at stuff like this, and you kind of see what Billy Corgan is going for with NWA Power. He wants to stay far away from this. You notice that no one on those shows is contributing to the cringiness on Twitter and all this other nonsense. She just doesn't get it. And as over as she might be, she never will get it. That this is not how you should be acting. Saying stupid stuff that you're going to go to a locker room. You're not kicking anyone's butt. This is a show. You're the man on a television show. You're not this real, woman who's like overpowered and everything. You got a 90 in a WWE video game. You don't have superpowers in real life that you could go around and start just, beating people up. It's a fantasy world. You're a fictional character. You're playing a fictional character on a TV show. Now, I get it. I know you're trying to do right by your character, and you're trying to have a personality on the internet, but it comes off super cringy, and it comes off like you're a total tool bag. I mean, I just... You can't read this and not just shudder and feel all cringy inside. You really lived up to your name, Cringey Lynch, as being the cringy one. The cringiest of the cringy. And, you know, this has got to stop. I mean, honestly, like, these wrestlers just make such fools of themselves on Twitter. It's really a weapon against themselves. And I just don't think that any of them see it. You know, and that's probably just the current generation of stars. There's just very few who get it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. And guys, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.